Is doing fine. I had a moment about a week or so ago where, like, it was one of these, I can't believe it's taken me so long to figure this out. So you hear this in entrepreneurial circles all day long. Hustle culture is great, but systems kill hustlers. Systems kill, uh, you know, all the other elements to a business at scale. If you want to get to scale, you have to build systems. So, as an example, in revenue, you have to systematize a process to the point where you, the founder, get out of founder led sales and you put in SDRs and AEs and CSMs and so forth. Everyone knows that systems thinking requires actually pausing, slowing down, documenting SOPs, workflows, using technology to run the system, and then it allows you, the founder, to roll out. I have been preaching since day one in every agency. It has been the core tenet, a core value written on the walls of my company. The communication is like the essence of everything. It is 80% of all business issues, problems, uh, what solves problems. So, like best practices, is all stems from communication. I pride myself that communication is the cornerstone to what I've always done very well. Overt communication is what's written on the walls of our office. So it dawned on me as I've been working on my 2026, if you look at the 2026 business plan within Get Leverage, a lot of it was around redeveloping our playbooks, our SOPs, as I'm moving from founder led sales to sales led sales. Along that journey, as I began building agents, I realized, oh my God, I'm systematizing the very most important thing to me, which is communication. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that communication in itself is a process. It is like getting out of revenue or building a marketing funnel or building a product innovation roadmap. Communication requires systems thinking. It needs to be documented, the flow charts, the who connects to who, how things are saved and transpired from one person to the next. And long and the short is communication. And remember all the stakeholders of communication. There's your prospects, your customers, your vendors and suppliers. There's the banks, the investors. They all require systems thinking. So now I'm going to bring this very tactical. I'm building two agents to systematize our communication. Agent number one is around call insights and analysis. And you might say to yourself, well, there's tools like Gong and so forth. No, no, no. Imagine every call of every type, of every form of the organization is then analyzed from the SDR to the portfolio managers to every stage, to onboarding, to weekly calls, to partner pulses. We call them monthly business reviews, to customer escalations. Everything is monitored and then brought through an engine to listen for breaks in the process, listen for adherence to BANT and MEDIC from a sales perspective, listening for upsells and cross sells, listening for happy ears, where we actually have customer escalation issues buried in the subtext of what's being said, but the CSM or project managers didn't hear it. This communication layer goes into HubSpot, gets sent as an alert to managers' phones, gets sent to the person who ran the call of a bit of a score and coaching moments immediately after the call ends. Imagine getting an alert and being given coaching moments. And also building other elements to inside these tools will then be able to start to think about the next level. So that next level, as an example, is how do we start to bring in facial recognition and video and being able to track, like, what are people saying, what are people doing, incredible insights that is not in a transcript, but is seen through the facial recognition and the body movement of what's going on in particular calls. So we're doing all kinds of these sort of AI agents. Another one is customer response. Slack, email, all kinds of communication is flowing in. Imagine setting a benchmark for how long it takes us to respond, and then setting goals and improving it, and then correlating response times to customer retention. But this isn't just about call response. This is emails, Slacks, every form of communication. Systematizing all that communication to being able to document what are benchmarks, what are goals, what are correlations to improvement. That is systems thinking. And so the point of this, of why I bringing this up, is if you also believe that communication is the cornerstone to everything in business, that you can break down communication and every path of communication to a prospect, to a customer, to a vendor, to a bank, to investors, and you can start to systematize all of these to give you best practices, to avoid pitfalls and challenges. Anyways, thought you'd find this really interesting if you back up and look at communication like you do a revenue process. Hope all is well.